guests or a guest and discuss issues of national importance. Now, this morning, we want to look at something very passionate, yet a concern to everybody. Sometimes you may excuse yourself from getting concerned, but then this bad habit at one time or the other may affect you as well. Now, what is this? This is water theft and its implications to water service providers. Now, we all know that issues regarding water are by the National Water and Sewage Corporation, and this morning I have the manager, Kampala, Engineer Mohamud Lutaya. You're most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And when we talk about water theft, many of you, if you're not stealing water, if you're not in this habit, you may feel very comfortable and say, how does it concern me? But during this program, you're going to understand its implication on even you, who is paying your bills very well. You don't have any illegal connections, neither are you stealing water. And you get to know that you should get concerned, really. You should get concerned. And to begin with, when you talk about water theft, engineer, what are we referring to? Because there's a confusion sometimes, illegal connections and water theft.
Thank you. Water theft, I would say, is one of our biggest challenge as a corporation. And if it's our challenge, then it's the biggest challenge of all of us, customers of National Water. Because when someone steals water, he does two things. Because the water we supply has a very huge cost, and we've been explaining this to all our customers. By the time you receive water, a lot of inputs have been put in to make sure that water is pure, is potable, and safe for you to drink. So when someone gets a resource like that and steals it and uses it without paying a coin, means that one, is denying another person who could have got that and pay for it. But two, is also making it more expensive for those that are paying for it. So this person becomes an enemy of all of us. So a person stealing water is a very big enemy of the country, and is a very big enemy to all taxpayers. And that's why we're putting a lot of effort to see how we can fight this vice. So people are stealing water in so many ways. There are those that have illegal connections, and an illegal connection means that you've connected yourself without going through the right means. So you get water, you use it for free, basically, and you never get a bill, even you're not known in our records. So those people have done it in so many ways. There are cases where they even connived with some of our staff. Also, there are cases where they've used their camufus to illegally vandalize our system, tap onto our system, and get free water. So those categories are what refers illegal water users. But also there is water theft where someone is an existing customer. Like yourself, you're an existing customer and you have a meter, you're in our system, but there's a way you bypass the system. So not all the water you're consuming is billed. So there are so many ways people do it. So some of them have gone ahead to bypass the meter. So you have a meter there, and where most of the water they're using, not all of it goes through the meter. They've created an illegal bypass, and that bypass goes and feeds some sections of their premises. And that water that goes through that side is not metered at all. And usually people do this during construction. They are confused by the contractors.
I see some of the images.
Yeah. Now, like that particular image is a brick-making site, which we caught a few days ago at night. We found that they had, again, it's metered. It's in our record is a customer, but what they are doing at night, they would remove a meter and fill their tanks. You understand? So he fills the whole 10 million liter tank. He fills it at night. So when you come to read the meter, you find that the consumption is low, but most of it doesn't go through the meter. So people are stealing through bypassing the system. People are, sometimes at night, they remove the meter and fill their tanks. There are those that have gone ahead even to vandalize the meter itself. They've compromised it. Some of them have put nails. They have cracked the screen. so that they doesn't capture the actual what? Reading. So that level of thuggery is what we're dealing with as far as water theft is concerned. So it's a nightmare for us, but also we are very determined to fight it.
Mm-hmm. Now, one would ask, engineer, why would someone steal water? Why do you have water theft? Because when I look at the tariffs, if someone is on the right tariff, and this is where I want you to take us through, water isn't that expensive.
Rightly, like you said, water is not expensive. And that's a question we can't understand. And the funny thing, most of the people, our statistics, because on a monthly basis, in Kampala, we have almost 100 people we're catching stealing water. And our estimate is that we believe we have almost 10% of our customers are what? Are stealing water. So you ask yourself, why would you steal something that I wouldn't say is cheap, but I'll comfortably say it's very affordable. Like we explained, and I think most people steal because they don't know that what they're stealing, actually they can afford it. We've explained that we have 5 categories of customers. There are customers we appreciate that not everyone is able to have water in their house. So especially people in informal settlements, or muntu wa wansi. As a corporation, we've gone ahead and put community taps. And on those community taps, we make a jerrycan, a 20-liter jerrycan, for only 25 shillings. So that's how affordable we made it to be. Now, on such points, by the way, the funny thing is not now the people using the water stealing. It's the person selling that water. And in most cases, he's selling a jerrycan for 200 what? Shillings. And yet National Water is charging that person 25 shillings.
Per jerrycan, per 25 liters.
So he's making a profit of 175 on every jerrycan. But he goes ahead and again what? Steals. So you can't explain.
Because at least you've done so much to have these water points in many places.
In Kampala alone, we have almost 6,000 plus, and we're putting more. Now, then people who are able to put water in their homes, and those are the domestic customers. Most of our customers fall in that category. Again, we made sure that water also is affordable. A jerrycan, a 20-liter jerrycan, for a person who gets it at home, treated, and you just open your tap, is only 100 shillings.
Domestic users at your home, you have water flow, a jerrycan is
100 shillings.
Every 25 liters, you pay 100 shillings. Now
every 20 liter.
Every 20 liter, you pay 100 shillings. Now on the other taps, there's a term you call them.
The public PSPs, the public water points.
The public water points. 20 liters goes for 25 shillings. Yes, that is fair.
So then the people who are using water for business, and we have 2 bands basically. There are those that, the first band, which is less than 500 what? Liters. 500 liters. A jerrycan is charged 105 shillings. Now, the more you use, the more basically what? Charge you. Then the more above that, you pay 120 shillings. But still, even for business, it's not what? Very expensive. Now, institutions, and this is where most of the schools fall, the government institutions, embassies, a 20-liter jerrycan goes for 101 shilling. You understand? And then the last category, again, we made sure that our tariff, the fact that we're a government institution, we want to make sure that our industries are very competitive. So we have a special tariff for industries. Those that consume more than 1,000 or 1 million liters, a 20-liter jerrycan goes for only 59 shillings. So when you look at the pricing and look at the current status of the economy, I would comfortably say that water is not cheap, because if it was cheap, then it's not a very valuable resource. It's very valuable, but given its value, at that price, it's very affordable. And there's no reason why anyone would want what? To steal. And the people are stealing are the rich people. Like you saw that some of those images. The people are stealing are the people making money, you know? Not the poor person at home who is trying to survive. It's not the one stealing. The people who are stealing are the people who are rich, the people who have hotels, the people who have these commercial facilities, the arcades, the people who have, now the bricklayers, those are people stealing water. So it's a very big challenge, and we want to mobilize the community. And I think that some of the images, so the people giving us information about water theft people are stealing are the neighbors. Because Ugandans are very concerned that I have a neighbor here, at night, this is what he does. And we're able to mobilize our team. The good thing, we've partnered with police. We have a fully fledged, over 20 police officers with us. We've now recently partnered also with UPDF, the chief of military intelligence, they are with us. So again, all this is, because this is government money at the end of the day, and it's completely legal for anyone to what? So the number of operations we are planning, I don't want to preempt some of this, but you're going to see them very soon, and that's the reason why we're here, to try to warn those people who are out there and they've been involved in such activities. Actually, I've been running an amnesty that at this time, if you suspect, you know, some people might not be aware that they're stealing. You understand? What gives them that benefit of doubt? If you're suspecting that you could be stealing water and you're not aware, come to us. We'll work with you to identify where that water is, where that theft is. And if you come voluntarily, we don't charge you right now during this amnesty period. But if it's us who get you, then the consequences are very, very high, and you wouldn't want to be in that place.
Now, let's look at these penalties in case someone is found guilty of water theft. What does the law say? What are the penalties? It's also important that our people know the danger they are putting themselves into.
There's a, when you get, like I said, we've partnered with police. We have a fully fledged station with us. Which means that when you get you, we have warrant to what? To arrest on site. And some of those images you saw, we get you, we immediately arrest you because we move the police. As National Water, we can't arrest you, but with police, we have the support to have you arrested. So immediately, you're arrested, you're charged with what? With theft, and immediately you're fined. So you have a fine of 400,000 plus an estimate of 2 years for the amount of water you've been stealing. So, depending on how big your facility is, you are looking at between 1 million to, as recently, I might not have to mention the customers that we got, but there's a customer we got and we had to charge him 80 million. For, he had stolen, and they were using, on average, their bill was around 20 million. So, the fine they got was 80 what? 80 million. And that's how bad it can be. But worst of all, if you don't respond, again, government has supported us, and we have what we call the utility court. Within the utility court, you're able to be taken to court, immediately charged. We've had cases where people have been imprisoned for 6 months for stealing water. So it's something that you wouldn't want to be caught doing, but worst of all, you don't want to go through that experience.
Now, you've talked about this problem that about 10% of the customers which you have are involved in water theft. But let's also look at some of the projects that are being undertaken to improve water supply, because one will give you an excuse that, you see, sometimes why we steal water, we have water at night, it is plenty, during the day there is no water, so I have to fill my tank, then I connect here, I store in my tank. So when water is gone, I'm assured of water there. So that is, we don't do this because we want, but you know, it is a way of preparing yourself better.
Yeah, but again, if that is the reason to store, let the water go through the meter. You understand? You don't have to steal it. And like I said, the biggest consequences or the biggest cost of water theft is it compromises or denies so many Ugandans out there the service that they need to deserve. You're talking about some of the projects we are doing. Now, we're only able to do these projects because we're all paying. So the day you stop paying means that National Water, as the government, we don't have capacity to serve the other Ugandans that don't have water. Right now in Kampala, particularly, there are a number of projects. Like I said, we've done a number of projects before. we talked about Katosi, that has significantly changed the water supply within the city, and I will comfortably say that most of the parts of Kampala, we have very reliable water supply, 24 hours, 7 days a week, which was not the case before. But again, we are aware there are some places right now that are still very challenged, especially Wakiso, parts of Unansana, Budo, and many others, especially in the outskirts, Matuga. And that's why now we have a new project. Not say new, it was part of the Katosi project, but it was supposed to come as another phase. And we're already at the stage of, we're having the contract signed next month, and immediately the project will start. So it's a very, very significant project in that once it's complete, we'll be 100% sure that water supply within the city will be sorted that out. We're getting water from Matuga. We have, we're getting water from Namgongo. We have a big pipeline that comes from Katosi. So we get water from Namgongo. We take it to, we're putting a very big tank, around 15 million liters in Kanyanya. Already the land has been secured, and works will start as part of the project to have a big tank in Kanyanya, 15 million liters. So get water from Namgongo to Kanyanya. Then from Kanyanya, part of it will go to Matuga. So it means that water supply within the areas of Matuga, that side will be 100% sorted. Then the other one will go along Hoima Road and goes to Wakiso, also feeding Kabulengwa tank. So again, water supply in Wakiso, in Kachiri, in Chengera, all those places that right now might be experiencing intermittent water supply will be 100% sorted. So we expect the project to start, the actual work construction will be around April, and then within 1.5 years, it will be complete. So it's a very big milestone, especially in those when it comes to the customers that have been suffering in the parts of Wakiso, especially where water has been very intermittent, and we apologize for that. But the good news is that once this project is complete, then the issues of water will be 100% solved. But on top of that, we can only do that if people don't steal water. Because as long as water is being stolen at the rate at which it's being stolen, then all the intentions, all the good ideas that we have as a corporation, we can't realize them.
So we together must fight water theft. If your neighbor is doing that, please report. And we'll be giving you numbers towards the end of the program, the numbers you can call and report any incident of water theft. Now, you'll be able to ask questions to my guest this morning. Please don't use my number, because someone is telling me, Robert, give us an opportunity to ask questions. Emmanuel Mweshigwa, watching all the way from Masaka. Thank you so much, but this is within Kampala.
Masaka, we can talk.
But still, the manager, Kampala Water, says yes, we can still discuss that issue. So the number is going to be popping up on your screen. That is our usual number on which we send WhatsApp messages, and my guest will be able to respond to that. I ask our technical team to please give us the number on the screen through which our viewers can use to send in questions. Now, we'll be going for a very short break, and when we return from the short break, I'll be beginning with the questions that will be coming in from you. We are handling water theft, and of course, we've just been told of the good news of the new projects the National Water and Sewage Corporation is embarking on to ensure consistent, reliable flow of water. Let's return shortly.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Well, welcome everyone to the biggest game on the continent.
And you have to. You've got to just seize those moments and enjoy them as much as you possibly can.
Thank you. Hello, Eric. Come and see my new home.
Are you looking for the best quality paint for your dream home? Be part of the new revolution with our Global Paint Silk Vinyl that gives you beautiful, shining interior walls, as WeatherCoat gives you never fading and strongly guarded walls against bad weather conditions. Located along Namavi Industrial Park, Global Paints, a reliable product.
The energy of this land comes to life in dreams and memories. It lights up in these nights and leads us to new horizons. It pushes us to go further and see bigger. The energy of this land comes from here. It comes from Africa, and it vibrates in each of us.
Empowered by Africa.
Oryx Lubricants, powered by Africa.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that short break, and thank you so much for being with us. It is Good Morning Uganda Extra, an extension of Good Morning Uganda. But just remind you that every weekday from 6:30, we are here. That's when we start. The Mighty Four, and of course a big team behind the cameras, the technical guys, they're all set to ensure that we kickstart your day. So why not make it a date with us every weekday? We cheer you up, no matter how dark your night was. There's so much laughter, but yet very informative, because we make sure you're well versed with what is happening locally and internationally. So tomorrow, I'll be waiting for you. And of course, we come in with this extension. Now we are discussing water theft and its implication on water supply. I have the manager, Kampala Water, Engineer Lutaya, with whom we are discussing this. Now, you can send us a message regarding the topic of discussion on the number that will be popping up on your screen, and I can assure you my guest will be able to respond to that. Now, all the time, you have a very innovative team. What do you have for your customers this time? What new innovation? Last year, we were looking at digitalization of payment, receipts, and all that. What is new?
I think a lot is happening and a lot is coming. We are cooking. We are a very dynamic institution. We try to make sure that we put the customer at the center of everything we do. And also we listen to our customers. So we've been listening to some of the challenges they are facing, some of the things they want us to do better, and that informs most of our innovations. So one of the key focus for the organization is we try to make sure that whatever innovations we do, as much as possible, they're internally developed. So we have set up our own dedicated team. All these digital transformations we're having in the corporation, they're all developed by Ugandans. We are trying to avoid relying on foreigners to do most of our work. But most importantly, like I said recently, we had to do away with the physical bills and we went digital. And that digital journey for the corporation is still growing slowly. So I want to believe we're going to a stage whereby we're trying to also introduce for some of the customers, and we're trying to assess this more carefully, digital meters. It means that with the digital meter as a customer, you'll be able to receive your readings real time. So instead of every month we coming to pick a reading, still our people will be visiting the homes for different reasons, but at least capturing the records, will be able to capture them real time. Again, this is going to help us be able to monitor real time the consumption of most of the accounts. And one way is also fighting aspects of illegality. So we are in an area of digitization, and National is trying to lead that. So all our services, be it the way we deliver bills, the way we engage with you, we're trying to make sure that at least everything is done with your phone. But also trying to promote a lot of comfort from our customers, so that you don't have to always wait for us to get to you. Right now, we're trying to make sure that we also provide personalized service, because the needs right now are varying. We don't treat customers the same. Every customer has their own unique requirement, and we're trying to push for that so that we move away with the general service and to a personalized service. So as a customer, you have a personal customer relationship manager that deals with your day-to-day requirements as a customer of National Water, but most importantly on our side, we make sure that all the issues you need or you want to be addressed are dealt with real time. So that's the level we want to reach as an organization, but across board, we're also trying to digitize our systems. If you ever get a chance to visit our plants, they are now, most of them are remotely run, you know, so able to monitor what is happening in any plant, even wherever we are. So we're trying to completely modernize our services, and we believe this will also go a long way to improve the service we provide to our customers.
Well, now we go to some of the questions that are coming in. There is a disturbing one, but the good thing is I have my guest here who will be responding to that. Now, why is water dirty? Why is it that sometimes water is brownish, yet we pay? I stay in Mbale, near Mbale Tower, but the water most times is dirty. How come? And then he goes ahead to ask, why do you ask money for a free resource God provided? I haven't gotten your name. Then why does National Water and Sewage Corporation tend to disturb water with chemicals, and this water comes with a different taste and smell? We need clean water and free of bad smell. Why should treat water and not sending water with medicinal contents in it? Well, brother, something is not that very clear. Then why does National Water and Sewage Corporation, okay, please let's keep them short. Alfred from Kasese, water theft is a lot this side. I'm asking causes of water leakages. Engineer, I hope you get that, causes of water leakages. Then, good morning, Robert. Thanks for the program. I am Alfred from Mbale. My concern is we always get water which is dirty in our area. Well, there's so much water dirty from Mbale. I don't know. I'm looking at a number. Actually, they have sent so many messages complaining of dirty water from Mbale. The other issue is, what measures have you put in place to control those spoiling communal water, because they tend to set their own prices? These installations where you said a jerry can 20 liters goes for 25 shillings, saying, well, they are charged so much, yet it's something you put for the public. Let's first go with those as more are coming in.
Okay, thank you. And I want to appreciate and thank all the viewers for these very interesting questions. Why is water dirty? At least I can guarantee that the water we provide from National Water is clean, 100% safe water for consumption, and it tested and meets both national and international standards. We have set up, we monitor our water more or less every time, from production to distribution, even to sample some customers, to make sure that it's safe for human consumption. Now, there are customers who at one point will experience these cases, but sometimes most of this is due to the fact that most of us have tanks. Like you talked about it earlier, that you have put a tank as part of storage and safeguard against in cases where we have interruptions and you don't have water. So unfortunately, most of us with tanks, we take time to have our tanks cleaned. As a minimum, you're supposed to clean your tanks a minimum twice a year, but idea is supposed to be every quarter. Supposed to have those tanks cleaned. But you find that most customers are not aware of this. But on top of that, a lot goes on with those tanks. So if it's a customer with a tank, we've been supporting them and helping them and advising them to have their tanks cleaned. But particularly, we're also going to follow up most of these cases from Mbale. But ideally, National Water, the water we provide is safe, is tested, and is safe for consumption. Now, there's a customer that talked about the chemicals we put in the water. I think for those that have had the chance to look at where we get the water from, it's very, very dirty. Like from the lake, it has been compromised over time, and we have to do a lot to make it safe for consumption. So we treat the water using chemicals, right? By the time, after the treatment, these chemicals we put in, by the time you receive water, you shouldn't have this taste or smell at all. It will be 100% safe. So if any customers is experiencing this, I will kindly request that they approach our officers. I'm going to share also with them the number to call so that we have our team coming over to check and advise. But on all, our water is safe, and most of it doesn't have any cases of smell or anything like that. And then why should anyone pay for resource that is God-given, that is free? I think that question, you always answer it when the water goes and you don't have it on your tap. That's when you realize there's a big cost to it. The day water goes at the tap, you find that you have to drive. If you have a bicycle, you get onto the bicycle and you go to where it is free, like you said, the lake, and you pick it. And in most cases, when you pick it from the lake, you find that it's not safe for drinking. And that says that
that's when you learn that
that's when you
paying.
realize that actually water is not the drinking water is not God given as such. So, but I think the most important thing, that aside, is that we do a lot to make that water safe for you. Like for the case of Kampala, we get all the water that people use from the lake. We have now 2 big plants, facilities. One is in Gaba, and another one is in Katosi. So Katosi is over 55 kilometers from Kampala, and Gaba is equally a distance from Kampala. So we get water from the lake. From the lake, we have to pump it. So we pump it, then we treat it. And to pump it, we use a lot of electricity. For Kampala alone, every month we're paying close to between 4 and 4.5 billion in electricity cost.
4 and 4.5 every month.
Every month.
That is what National Water pays.
Just for Kampala alone.
Kampala alone.
To carry the water from the lake and later on also pump it to the different. So we're spending almost 4 billion every month. Every month on what? On power. On top of that, like we said, we have to treat this water. The state in which it is, by the time we pick it from the lake and have it treated and make it safe for it to use, we spend also almost close to between 2 and 2.5 billion in chemical costs. You get it? So this is the chemicals we use to make that water clean, and this is just for Kampala. Now on top of that, you put in the cost of the pipes that we have to buy to bring that water. We have our teams that will have to make sure that if there's a leakage, it is handled. When you have no water, they respond to it. We have all these facilities. All those are costs. So, and that's why I said, considering all those costs, and we're still buying a jerrycan for 100 shillings, I think government has done a lot to make sure that water is still affordable. And I think it's not free. In the lake, it is free. When you harvest it through the rain, no one is going to what? To ask you to pay. But as long as someone has to use power, and someone has to treat this water, and someone has to maintain the service, then there's that cost, definitely. That. And that's what customers are paying for. But the most important thing, again, what people should know, we're not charging the full cost of the tariff. So it means that the cost of the investment, the cost that was used, the money that was used to construct Katosi, the customer is not paying for that. Because if the customer was to pay for that cost alone, it means that the jerrycan won't be 100 shillings. It would either be 200 or more. So already government has subsidized even the cost of water that you're using so that it remains affordable for all of us, because it's a very critical resource that we need. Then I think there was an issue of leakages. What is the cause of leakages? On top of people stealing water, again, we're also experiencing a very big challenge with leakages. Now, leakages are caused by a number of things. One, one of the reasons that we're having a number of leakages, we have cases whereby people are been doing a lot with upgrading the roads. And this is being done by different entities. But the good thing, again, we've tried to partner with them and strengthen our relationship, especially KCCA, UNRWA, and the other agencies when it comes to when they're working on roads, so that to minimize cases of what? Leakages. But most important, also there are leakages that come because the pipes have what? Have failed. And again, we want to request and urge the public, if you find any pipe that has given way, and you find any leakage, kindly report it to us. We have mobilized our teams, and that's part of the course we talked about, to make sure that if there's a leakage out there, we're able to handle it within the shortest time possible. In Kampala, and just like any other area, our response time to leakage should be less than 2 hours. So you report a leakage within 2 hours, our team will be on the ground to have it fixed. When you have a leakage, there's a way it affects supply in your area. If they have a leakage, it means that there are people ahead that are not receiving water, or the pressure have dropped. So this leakage is not a problem to National Water alone. It's your problem as well. Because if there's a leakage, it means that the people are not getting this water. And we're getting lost. And again, it's a cost that later on we all have to pay for. So we want to request the public to help us report any cases of leakage that is out there, and our team will make sure that these are handled within the shortest time possible.
Now let's look at some of the messages that are still coming in. One says, thank you for the great show. I am from Kawoko, Nansana. We haven't had water now for 2 weeks. What is happening? That is from Nansana. Then thanks for the program. To my delay, persons cannot do this illegal water connections. It's the water engineers who they conduct. This is Joshua from Luzira. Then are there any innovative technologies or approaches that National Water and Sewage Corporation is exploring or implementing to enhance water and sanitation services in Kampala? That is Morris. And twagala tumanye unity y'amazzi yo ya meka domestic. Now that I haven't gotten your name. And oh, please, let's make this shorter. Hello, thanks for the show. It's me, Pius Naliba from Buyikwe, Reru. We last had water on the 25th of December last year. Hello, thanks for the show. This side in Buyikwe, Reru, we got water one day. He's complaining of when they last had water there. Well, the messages are quite many, but please, let's make them short. Reading through is really very hard when there are so many. And I wouldn't want to leave a message. I try to see how best we can handle. But if it's very long, then it becomes a problem. Let's keep them shorter. Now, we have an issue that has come in, which is the cost of domestic to our government unity America. There's also the issue of asking, these people have not had water for a very long time. And one saying, these illegal connections, it is an inside job, let's not complain.
Yeah, and we also haven't denied that some of these cases, we have our staff involved. You know, in any place, you're always going to have the bad apples. And that's why, again, we want to ask the public to help us deal with these bad apples. So we have cases where we believe some of our staff are involved, but again, not entirely our staff, because also sometimes the public also takes two tango, you get. So, but as a corporation, it's something that we completely trying to fight against, and we want the public to help us. If we have, for me, there's a customer who called me recently, and he gave me a case of a person who was being involved in illegality, and we're trying to handle that. So we have zero tolerance to our staff being involved in this, and we request the public to support us. Because like I said, this is a fight we have to fight together, and the corporation and the public. Now, the customer in Kaoko, Nansana, wasn't had water for 2 weeks, I'm going to follow this up. You know, like I said, Nansan is one of the areas that are right now being affected with water supply, and we believe the solution for this is the project I talked about. But again, even with that, they shouldn't spend 2 weeks without water. So it's something that I'm going to get the contact of the customer from here at the end of this show, but also follow this up and see. Sometimes we have localized problem, you know, might not be a general problem, but you find it's a localized problem that we can ably deal with. Then abagala okumanya unit y'amazzi domestic eri ku ssente meka. So a unit of water is basically 1,000 liters. That is a unit of water. So 1,000 liters have 50 20-liter jerrycan. So it means that a unit of water is right now 4,224 shillings. So 50 jerrycans cost 4,224 shillings. That's a unit. So by the time you consume a unit, you've consumed 50 jerrycans. So it means that if you're using, and we're talking about affordability, if the water is supposed to be affordable, means that that is without tax. So with tax, it's around 5,000. So it means that 10,000, you get what? 100 what? Jerrycans. For 10,000. 120-liter jerrycans. So a person, if you're very conscious, you can use only 10,000 in a what? In a month for water. Even you can use 5,000 for water. So water is really what? Affordable. Then there was the customer from Buikwe, Relu, and I think right now Relu, this particular area is not under the NWC service area. You know, you have towns that are being supplied by National Water. You have towns that are being managed under the ministry. But the good news thing for Buikwe, again, as part of our project for Katosi, we're extending services to all those areas so that water issues are sorted. But again, I'm going to follow it up again with this case and see whether their concerns can also be addressed.
Well, I cannot take in any more messages, but there is one important one where one said that sometimes meter readers do not reach the ground. They just estimate the bill. This is Paul from Okono. Is there a way where someone can know? Then hello, we at Nachigalala, just behind Kajansi, are suffering for we use unsafe water from water springs. When is National Water considering connecting us to the water line just like other Ugandans? Mwesije in Sema Estate. Well, please, let's end it at that. There are so many and my time is out. I must get out of here. So engineer, briefly, that of Nachigala, then this estimated meter reading. Can't I read my meter and know how much I'm supposed to pay?
You can practically read your meter. And when you look at, again, they ask what innovations we've done. When you go to our website, we try to make sure that we empower the customer. On the website, you can read your meter, you can put in the readings, you can even generate your own bill. You don't have to wait for us to come to your premises to know how much you're going to pay. So the customer can practically read their meter. They can practically even know that this month I'm supposed to pay this. So if a person sends you a bill that you don't believe in, you already have your readings. Because the meter is at your home. You have it every 24 hours. So what to encourage the customers to utilize some of the innovations we've put in place where you can ably check your readings. Before you read them, the good thing now, again, the bills are coming on your phone. So you don't have to say that the paper got lost. You have the bill. You can even check the bill for the last 10 months. You have it with you. And the meter is with you. And on the system, we put it in such a way that you can generate your own bill. You can read your own bill and you can read your own meter. So these are some of the things we're trying to do to empower the customer to create more trust, you know, in our service. Because like you said, most customers argue that we're estimating. We shouldn't estimate. But also we have cases where customers are not always available. And again, that's why we talk about a personalized service. That if we know you have a busy schedule, you're never at home, then we should know when are you available so that we can come and read that meter when you're available.
Then someone said they have spent months without water, but they keep sending them monthly bills telling them it is service fee.
Yes, I think as long as you have our assets, then you have to pay the service what? Fee. But again, there are places, if as an organization we know because of technical issues that place can't have water, then definitely we always made it clear that we can't charge that place. But again, for such a customer, it will be a case of, and then we have cases where a customer has just opted not to use our service, but he has kept our infrastructure. And then definitely by law, he has to be paying for that.
Yeah, that has
service
ever happened to me where we had rentals and they spent some time, we didn't have tenants.
Yes.
But then bills were coming.
Yes, because you have a meter, you have all the other assets. And even actually our people keep reading that meter. So that's the service you're paying for. It's not for free because we continue reading the meter. We continue maintaining that facility. So there's a cost to you still having our assets with you.
So I rather surrender them back if I'm not using them.
Yeah, you rather tell us that we no longer need completely your service. At the moment we completely close you out of our system, then we can't charge you. But I don't think that would be a desirable state.
Because you may have 2 meters in your name. You have your home, your residential, then you have tenants.
Yes.
Now, at a certain time, maybe you want to move out of this business of tenants and they don't need special meters. So the more I keep this, I'm getting a bill.
There's a cost.
And that is hard for the public to understand. If you tell me
yes. So, but if a customer is in that situation and he believes he no longer needs certain accounts, again, you can come to us when you have those accounts closed. You understand, you maintain 1 meter. But if you have all these meters with you, then there's always going to be a bill that is going to come. And that is a service fee because we continue reading that meter, we continue visiting that places, and there's a cost for maintaining that
Now,
system.
engineer, we must get out of here. I'm seeing alerts of the next program coming on, but give us numbers that we can use to report people who are indulging in water theft.
I'm going to share 3 numbers. And these ones you can call them anytime because we are public servants, we work. And one of them is my number, 075 111 7120. I'll repeat it, 075 111 7120. Then another one is an MTN number, 0772 603 499. 0772 603 499. Then the last one is also an Airtel number, 0752 916 541. 0752 916 541. These are numbers you can call for cases of illegality. And again, there's maybe something I didn't talk about. There's a very big incentive if you report someone stealing water.
Oh.
We can pay you as high as the percentage of the person that is being recovered. There's a person we paid 12 million as an incentive for reporting someone stealing water. So Ugandans who don't have jobs, this is another avenue to make to earn a very honest living by fighting a problem that is faced by all Ugandans. Go out there, find someone stealing water, we'll be able to pay. There is no information that is free.
Yes.
As long as we confirm that someone is stealing water, we'll be able to pay you. The minimum you can get is around 50,000. You can get as high as 100,000. You can get 1 million. You can get a lot by just reporting someone what. And these numbers I've shared, you're guaranteed confidentiality and protection. Now, also we have a toll-free number for those customers that are also reporting any other activity. So you can call 0800 200 977. That's a toll-free number. You call it, you're not charged, but you're able to report any challenge you're facing, and our people will be able to come and solve whatever problem you have. But we want to thank the customers that have supported us as a corporation, and we strongly believe that this challenge we're facing of theft, with the commitment, I know Ugandans, once they're committed to something, then there's nothing that we can't solve together as a team and as Ugandans.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Engineer Mahmoud Rutaya, who is the General Manager at Kampala Water. Thank you so much for your time. The questions are so many on WhatsApp. I have to find more time and bring you more on water theft. Thank you, our viewers, for being part of us. I can see the feedback is so impressive. Keep it on, and above all, let's report water theft. A reward there. Just imagine if your village, you have on a monthly, you can report 12 people. Because if 10% of the people having this water are engaged in water theft, then that could be good money for you. Just become a village spy, do some intelligence, and find out there is a big reward for you and make money. See you tomorrow, same time, God willing, for God and my country. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.